Hopefully you can all hear me okay and see me all right. Yeah, great. Okay, so I'm going to just travel back to my chair now. I've got to have my phone with me today to check the time, as my cat, because there's no clock in this room for me. So I will be looking at my phone, but I'm not checking social media. I'm just looking at the time, just so you know. So I'm going to be sat over here on my chair, and we're just really, let's move that out of the way. Let's just really arrive together in the space. So just casting your eyes through this space, and this for me is an unfamiliar one. So just noticing what it is that I notice as I look around. I'm going to look over my shoulder. As we always say, it's quite comforting to know what's behind us. And then just going to be a little bit still for a moment, and just move the eyes. So the idea of the head being very still and just taking the eyes and looking up towards the sky and down towards the ground, and seeing if I can keep my head completely still as I repeat that twice more, looking up, looking down, and once again. And then this is a trickier one, keeping the head really still, looking to the side. And then changing, looking to the other side without moving the head. And again. And then looking as far away as you can, looking as far away into the distance as you can, either out the window or to the other side of the room, and then looking as close to the face as you can. So either holding a finger up close to the face, or maybe looking towards the tip of the nose. And just repeating that a few times, looking far away into the distance, and then at the tip of the nose, and far away in the distance, and then the tip of the nose. And then let's rub our hands together, and just, if you're happy to, either the fingers can be slightly open and looking to darker shape in the hands, or bring the palm of the hand right over the eyes. Just going to let a new member in. And just taking a couple of breaths, just letting the darkness of the eyes be present, and just then quietly just letting the light come back in. And welcome to you if you're just joining us. Achana, welcome. You'll notice we are recording, but you are not being recorded. Just to reassure you, I'm being recorded. Welcome, as I don't think we've met. My name's Helen. You can unmute at any time you would like to speak to the class, or put me chat. Hello, welcome.
Hi. Sorry, I'm late. Yeah, hi.
Don't worry, it's nice to see you. Welcome. Just come, we're just arriving together, so we've just been doing a little bit of eye yoga and a little bit of orientating, so you haven't missed much.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. I'm going to put you back on mute, my love, just so that you don't, you're not recorded your voice unwillingly, just being in the background. But if you do want to unmute, as I said, at any time, you're really welcome. Your voice will be recorded, but not your face. Okay. And then let's just start with our grounding. So we actually normally start with the feet and come up through the body, but we're actually going to work the other way today, just to see how that feels for us. And our grounding practice is really a way of us getting into the present moment. So we're using the feeling of the body, which we do a lot with touch. And we're just going to work from the head down to the feet. So we rub the hands together just to feel, first of all, that warmth, that sensation. Just being very present to the feeling of the hands. And then we might use our hands just to stroke from the forehead across to the back of the head. And I'm using my fingertips, and this can feel quite stimulating and sometimes quite uplifting. But we may also notice how much tension we have in the head. And as I'm moving my fingertips from the forehead, from the hairline across the scalp, I'm actually just kind of gently but firmly pressing down and sort of squeezing and releasing as I make that journey. So I'm pressing and releasing all the way from the front to the back of the head with my fingers. And then I'm going to use my hands to stroke quite firmly down either side of the neck, from the base of the head to the tops of the shoulders. Base of the head to the tops of the shoulders. I'm just going to rest my hands on my shoulders, and I'm just going to give a little squeeze and release, a little squeeze and release across the top of the shoulders. And just being really present to any sensations of tension in the shoulders and how it feels when the muscles are squeezed, that tightness, and how it feels when we let them go. And just take that a couple more times. And then I'm going to take my fingertips, I'm going to open my jaw. I'll move closer to the screen for this one. Open my jaw, and I can feel with my index fingers where the top of the jaw and the bottom of the jaw meet in this kind of triangle towards the ear. And with the jaw wide open, there's a softness of the cheeks in between the top and the bottom jaw. And I'm just going to massage that with 2 fingers from the top to the bottom. I'm going to work my way from that point of the triangle toward the nose, toward the lips. A couple of times. And we can hold a lot of tension here around the face, around the mouth. I'm going to take those 2 fingers, I'm going to slide up into space between the corner of the eye and the ear, around the temple, and I'm just going to gently massage around the temple. So often we start with a little bit of massage. We're just trying to relax the facial muscles, and we're also trying to stimulate the vagus nerve, which is part of our parasympathetic nervous system, our calming part of the nervous system. This has a deep relationship to our experience of discomfort and pain. Yeah. And then I'm going to use my fingertips to really lightly just tap across the face in any direction or place that feels okay to touch. Under the nose. Mouth is open a little. Jaw is heavy. Under the eyes. Like little raindrops around the temple and across the forehead. And just listen to the sound and feel the vibration of those little dancing fingers on the skin. Maybe bring it down the neck, and gentle taps across the top of the shoulders, and up the neck. And then onto the collarbones, just feeling how those collarbones just come almost like a V, but not quite as deep. And then with the first 2 fingers, just giving a little tap on the collarbone. Finding a rhythm. You might want to work with a slower rhythm. Just bringing a really gentle little tap to the collarbone. And then we're going to bring one hand on top of the other and circle the hands. So here comes Anne coming to join us too. So I'm going to just add these names in before I forget. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, Achana. And just, we're going to press comfortably. If it's not okay to bring the hands onto that part of the body, you could just lightly touch with your fingers or just float the hands in front of the body there. But if the hands are making contact, feel the warmth. And again, we're looking to bring a sense of comfort and soothing to the system. So if this isn't enjoyable, maybe take a movement that you know is enjoyable. Maybe you preferred stroking the neck or the shoulders. Welcome, man. Lovely to see your face. Morning. And just feel that sense of warmth and this idea that we're just bringing a sense of ease through that warmth, a little gentle massage to the chest. Then let's just pause for a moment, maybe with the hands on the body. Feel the weight and the warmth of the hands. We're working in our grounding practice from head to foot this morning rather than the other way. Just take a couple of breaths. Just feeling the hands on the body. either staying with the feeling of the hands or bringing the attention gently into the breath as it moves the hands as they rest in the body. And we're going to take a little sound with the breath, again, to kind of stimulate that soothing part of the system. And as we make that sound, see if you can feel the vibration of the sound through the chest area. So if you can feel sensation of sound in the chest, that's just our ah sound, ah. And it may bring about a yawn, and that's kind of what it is inviting us to do. So with a soft, open jaw, we're going to breathe through the nose, in through the nose and out through the mouth, making the sound ah. Ah. It always makes me yawn. Let's try it twice more. And just notice how it feels in your body and in your mind to yawn, to make that feeling in the body. Let's take it a couple more times. Oh. One last time. Just a sigh now if you're ready. Oh. And let's rub the hands together. Let's give the hands a little bit of attention, a little bit of care. So I'm just massaging the hands. And I'm just rubbing my thumb sort of in a circle across the palm, just being very present to that sensation, any tension in the hand. And then I'm going to run I'm going to sort of squeeze the fingers from the bottom to the top. Almost just as if I want to almost just pull the finger off, which I don't want to do. And then I'm going to swap hands again, just comfortable firmness and making a circle with the thumb across the palm. And then starting with the little finger, I'm just sort of squeezing from the bottom to the top of the finger. Any movements that just feel nice to you, working out to the thumb. And then let's interlace our hands, bring our palms towards one another, shoulders and elbows drop. And just see if you can begin to make a figure of 8 with the hands, just really moving into the wrists. And you could let your eyes watch your hands as you move them in this way. And see if you can find a rhythm again, a movement of hand that feels comfortable. And then let's turn the hands, the palms away from the body and let the arms grow as long, as straight as they want to, and press into the heels of the hands. And you could really open the hands up. You could see how that would be to really open the hands up. And then just bend the elbows a little bit. And then just take that stretch one more time. Press the palms away. Press the heels of the hands away. Bend the elbows, and then keeping the hands interlaced, just again bring the hands up towards the chest. Coming into that prayer position. And then beginning to stroke the arms. So from the shoulders all the way back down into the hands, maybe remaking the prayer shape. Stroking the arms with a gentle pressure up to the shoulders and all the way down. And just feeling body against body. And touch this body of yours in a way that is kind and in a way that feels pleasant in this moment. You might need to skip a part out. You might want to give a couple of rubs around the elbows. You might just want to give a little rub around the wrists. And then let's just bring the hands onto the center of the body. I'm going to come and sit onto the chair now. So bringing the hands around the center of the body, having moved from the head down through the hands down through the arms into the hands. Coming back to that circling sensation. Again, the hands could just be in front of the body if you prefer. Little circle to feel the warmth and weight of the hands on the body. And then let's just find the breath, because we feel the breath more in this central part of the body, in the chest and the belly. But also we feel the breath in the side of the body and in the back of the body as well. So although the hands are on the front of the body, see if you can get a sense of the breath moving in this three-dimensional space through you. But we're going to pat the body as we breathe. So we're going to breathe in through the nose and down towards the belly. And if we feel the belly moving, we're going to give the belly a pat. And then as we feel the body filling up with the breath, we're going to pat the hand on the chest. So we're sort of welcoming the breath with the hand. And then as we breathe out, we breathe from the bottom up and out. So then we'll breathe out by patting the belly as we feel the breath move past the belly, and patting the chest as it moves past the hand on the chest. So we're breathing in when we feel the breath on the belly, breath on the chest, breathing out. And you feel the breath moving past the hand on the belly and the chest, we pat again. So just feel your own breath rhythm for a moment. So just feeling the body breathing. And when you're ready, bringing in the pat of the hands. If it makes you feel anxious to notice your breathing, just move the hands on the body and just be with that rhythm of hand on body. Otherwise, we're marrying movement of hand with the breath. One more time. And then let the hands come down. And we're crossing, we've got the hands across the body here, and we're using right and left hand. We're using our breath. So we're really hoping to integrate the experience of brain, okay, because we're using cross-body stimulation, left to right hemisphere, and we're using the breath to calm the body down. So that might be a practice that if you found it, you know, a little bit peaceful, that you could work with that one. And it also brings this lovely rhythm to the body. But let's move our attention now down through into the pelvis. So let's bring our hands onto the hips. And if I sit onto the side of the chair, and let's tuck the chair so the pelvis will be, I'm moving my weight into the back of the pelvis. I'm drawing the pubic bone towards the belly. And then I'm going to move into the front of the pelvis, and I'm lifting my tailbone, and my pubic bone is dropping down. So as I tuck, moving into the back of the pelvis with my weight, and as I move forward, I'm lifting up and out of my spine as I open through the front body. So tucking and rounding through the back, and untucking and opening through the front. So just take a couple more of those and feel the pelvis move, particularly under the fingers if you're resting the fingers on the front of the pelvis. And you can really feel how the pelvis moves the spine. Because if you tried not to move your spine and just to move your pelvis, and you can try that now if you would like, much more difficult. It's impossible not to move the spine at all. And then if you use the pelvis to its full range of movement, the spine has no choice but to follow. A couple more of those tucks, rounds, you could drop the head, and then untuck, lifting and opening, you could squeeze the shoulders back. And then let's just circle the weight, so bringing the whole of the upper body around the lower body. And we're just being really present to our connection with ground now, because we can really feel the bottom, the thighs on the chair. We can feel the weight through the feet, particularly as we come forward a little bit in that circle. And then let's go back the other way. So we can feel that really deep connection in the lower body into this ground beneath us. Yeah, come to neutral. Let's bring the heel of the hands now onto the top of the thighs and just stroke comfortable firmness along the length of the thigh, toward the knee, along the outer part of the leg towards the knee, And if it's comfortable for you, the inner part of the leg. So we're massaging across the top, side, inside. Maybe one more time, just feeling that warmth, feeling that pressure into the body. And then we might just circle the knees with our hands, circle the knees with our hands. If we can't reach down towards our feet, we could bring the foot up towards us, and we're just going to stroke our hands along the calf, along the shin rather, and then wrap around to the calf. But if your foot is on the floor, you might come forward. If that's comfortable for you. So we're getting a little forward bend at the same time, hinging from the hips. And then we're coming down towards the feet and the ankles. So again, you could lift or raise the foot up, rest it on something to enable you to just give a little rub to the ankles and to the foot. Or maybe you reach down towards the ground to rub and to stroke the ankles and the feet. And then let's come up. Let's lift one ankle up. Let's make some nice big circles of the ankle with the foot. One way. And maybe your movement here is much more limited than this. Don't worry. You never have to match my movement. Just see what movement your body can offer. And then when the leg gets tired, put it down. Let's take the other side. Nice big circles. And again, you can always hold the leg or keep the toes of the foot sort of on the ground as you circle the ankle. Okay, and then let's just pause for a moment and let our attention be in the place in the body where we feel the most. Can we feel the most in the feet? If we tuck our toes under now, if I sit to the side, if I really tuck my toes under, scrunch my toes, and then relax my toes. And again, scrunch my toes under and relax my toes. My whole attention goes down into my feet. And just take a few easy breaths. Let's imagine now that we're breathing from the soles of our feet all the way up through our body to the crown of the head, and then breathing out from the crown of the head all the way down into the soles of the feet. Let's just take that a few times together. Breathing in. Breathing out. Smooth quality of breath. And maybe when we're feeling a little bit busy, a little bit caught up in our heads, a little bit like we're overthinking, we can drop down into our feet. We can scrunch our toes in our shoes or against the floor and just allow ourselves just to come back into the body and drop out of the mind. Okay, so let's bring the movement and breath together now. So let's come all the way back up to the head. Let's just drop the ear over to one shoulder, through center and over to the other side. And just find a rhythm as you move the head. And we're really looking at getting ear to shoulder, carrying on. I'm just going to sort my hair slipping out of my, there we go. A bit clearer. Image there. Dropping from side to side. Just finding this rhythm, noticing as we come through center and over to the other side. Then keep the ear dropping towards the shoulder and then bring the chin, or someone else, just Kaz joining us now. Lovely. Ear towards the shoulder and then bring the chin towards the shoulder and look right down towards that shoulder. Look right down. Now I'm just going to drop my opposite arm. I'm just going to drop the hand off the leg. I'm going to let the weight of the shoulder create a greater stretch. Hi, Kaz, welcome. Through the neck. So I'm dropping my ear towards my shoulder and I'm bringing my chin and looking right down at that shoulder. Opposite arm is dangling to the side. And you can add a little bit more stretch here if you want to. You could push that shoulder of the dangling arm, you could push it down towards the ground to really increase that sense of length through the neck. You decide. Notice how easy or how difficult it is to breathe when you're creating tension in the body, and then release that pushing of shoulder. Roll the chin as close to the chest as you can and come over to the other side. And then find that rhythm of rolling. So not swinging the head ear to shoulder, but just rolling the chin across the chest. A few times. And then this time letting the ear drop the other way, so ear to shoulder. And then I'm going to bring my chin and look right down at the shoulder. So I'm working on the other side now. I'm gazing towards the other shoulder. I'm going to drop my other arm so it hangs loosely next to me. I may just stay there, or I might push that shoulder of the hanging arm down towards the hip and hold it pushing down to increase the stretch through the side of the neck. But I'm managing my level of sensation by moving as little or as much as I want into this stretch. Feeling the body, feeling the breath. Excellent. Then release the press, replace the hands on the leg, and take that free roll of head from side to side. Just slowly, gradually moving the head. Couple more times. Coming back to center, lifting the head up and just turning the head and looking all the way over the shoulder now. So as you see, I'm turning my whole head. I'm letting the shoulder travel as well. I'm coming into a little twist, coming back to center, turn the head first, turn the shoulder, look over the shoulder towards the space behind me, and just find that little rhythm, that little swing from side to side. I often like to slide my hands along my legs as I twist. So I'd slide my right hand forward as I look over my left shoulder. So you get that feeling of hand sliding along the body. You get that sensation of how it feels through the neck and the shoulder and the upper back to find this twist. There's lots of sensory information coming up from the body into the brain that we can use to help us stay really present in the body. But remembering, if it's too much to be present in the body at any time, we can just let our attention wander and go where it likes. It can think about something else. And then we might like to hold this twist. So as I open my chest towards the left, I'm not mirroring you, so it looks like the right. I'm going to hold this opening of chest. I'm going to bring my left arm as I'm twisting to the left behind my chair, just for an extra bit of support. And I'm just going to look slightly over that left shoulder, feeling that expanse through the chest. Feet heavy on the floor. Feeling the breath. And then coming back through center and swapping sides, slowly and gradually opening to the other side. I'm now opening towards the right, looking over my shoulder. I'm going to take my right arm and just rest it behind the chair. As I gaze over my right shoulder, feeling that opening again through the chest. Heavy in the feet and noticing which side maybe feels more available to me today. To twist to the left or the right, which feels more available or more pleasing. Good. And then coming back to center. Let's take some shoulder rolls. Let's lift the shoulders up, squeeze them back, and drop them down, press them down. Let's roll them forwards, lift them up, squeeze them back, and press them down. Let's just repeat that a few times. In and lift and squeeze. And really exaggerate this movement. Really feel all the muscles that are required to support that squeezing and lifting and pressing down. And then when you drop, just can you shrug one shoulder and then the other? Lift and drop, lift and drop. And I'm quite limited may or may not look that way, but I'm quite limited in my own movements there. And this is quite a loud sensation for me to work through the shoulder area. I'm just really wanting to notice how that sensation comes and goes in my attention. Lift and drop. And then both together, lift, drop. And drop. Just a nice shrug. So we're aware that if we're holding tension, we can just drop it. Most of the time, we're not even sure if we're holding tension. We don't know. Yeah. We're going to take a little bit of work for the shoulders and for the arms. And this work's going to carry all the way through the wrist, elbow, and into the shoulder. If the arms get tired, maybe do one arm first and then the other, or just keep the arms much lower. But we're going to float the arms out to the side and turn the palms up towards the ceiling. So the thumbs are dropping down towards the ground. You can probably feel a sense of stretch through the chest as you do that. And then turn the palms the other way, so palms down, but then keep going as if you're turning the palms towards the wall behind you, and feel how maybe your elbows begin to lift and the tops of your shoulders begin to come in towards your chest. And then go the other way again with the palms, turn down, through down, and then all the way up until you're trying to drop the thumbs behind you. And you've got this rich opening across arm, chest, and then turn the palms down and keep going as if you want to turn the palms up towards the ceiling, and then get quite free with it. Get quite free with it. Find your rhythm and just feel. If I sit to the side, you can probably see a bit more clearly what my shoulders are doing. They're rounding and coming in. And they're rounding back and then drawing in towards the spine, opening the chest. Then their shoulder heads are rounding in towards the chest and opening the back. It's a bit like taking a cat to cow, but it's more just for the upper back. Okay. And then drop the arms, have a little shrug and a drop, shrug and a drop. And then we're really going to slow this one down. And we're going to try and get some movement in the wrist and in the elbow and into the shoulder. So once again, comfortable height, floating the arms out to the side. I want you to see if you can keep as much of the body still as possible as you begin to turn your palms down. You're trying to keep your elbows still, trying to keep your shoulders still, turn your palms down. And then when you can't do any more with the hands without moving the elbows, let the elbows come in. And when you can't do any more without moving the shoulders, let the shoulders come in. And then go back the other way, but start with the hands. So turn the hands first, turn the palms all the way up towards the ceiling. Then when you can't turn them up anymore, elbows have to drop down and the shoulders have to drop down. So you're really trying to isolate the movement as much as you can. One more time. May feel really intense, so you may need to shake it out midway through or just imagine doing the movement. We're turning the palms down, and when we can't turn them behind us without moving the elbows, we move the elbows, and we move the wrists, shoulders rather, and then let's start with the hands. We move the hands back, turn the palms back up towards the ceiling, turn the elbows, turn the shoulders, well done. Drop the arms, hug and release, and hug and release. Yeah. Yes, Anne, that's exactly what we're getting to. I love that. So we're literally going to give ourselves a hug. So we're going to breathe in, take the arms wide, squeeze the shoulders back if we want. Breathe out, wrap the arms around the body, catch hold of the body, hands sort of around the armpits, under the armpits if possible, shoulders nice and soft, and then literally just give a little swing. Anne's demonstrating so beautifully, their little swing with the shoulders and the elbows. And not only does this just feel like we're giving ourselves a nice hug, and maybe after about 30 seconds get some of that bonding hormone oxytocin going, but it also just brings a little bit of release to the upper back. Okay, notice which arm's on top. We're going to swap arms over. So we're going to come to center, big breath in. Welcome in the breath, and then cross the other arm on top. Drop the shoulders, hands around the armpits, and have a little swing of the elbow. And feel how the upper chest and upper back just rocks from side to side. Couple of breaths. Maybe take a couple of sighs here, in through the nose. Open, loose jaw, and again, checking the time. Release the arm, rest the shoulders. Okay, 5 more minutes of movement before we slow it down. So let's get a little bit into the legs. Let's get a little bit into the legs today. So I'm just going to move my chair ever so slightly back. And what I'm going to invite you to do is either step the feet a little bit wider and turn the toes out, or if that's not possible for you, just turn the toes out and then you'll get a little bit of length through the inner thighs. So either the feet are wider and the toes are turned out, or you kept the feet as they are and you just rolled onto the outer edges of the feet, bringing a little length to the inside of the body. Okay. And then we're going to bring our hands, slide them down towards the knees, and we're going to take this little shoulder drop. So I'm hinging from my hip, so I'm moving my chest towards the opposite leg. So I've got my left shoulder moving towards my right knee, and I'm picking my shoulder up and I'm dropping it down towards the knee. And then I'm lifting my shoulder up and I'm drawing it back. I'm opening my chest and looking back. I'm going to repeat that a few times. Lift the shoulder up, drop it down towards the knee. Lift the shoulder up and bring it back. Once or twice more on this side. It doesn't matter how close you get body to leg, get the shoulder moving as best you can. Really nice. Come back to center. Let's do the other side. This time it's my right shoulder and my left knee. I'm going to pick it up, bring it down, lift it up, draw it back, and have a little look over the shoulder. Lift, drop it down and forward, lift it up, draw it back, look over the shoulder. Couple more times. Really nice. Feel the body moving. Great. And then shrug and drop. Oh, the dog's back. Shrug and drop. Back from our walk. Might hear a bit barking now. Now we're just going to open up into the hips a little bit. So I've got the bed here. So if you can't comfortably bring the foot up onto your leg, you may want to rest the foot onto something else, like a bed or a stool. Or you could just simply step the foot forward and again just roll onto the outer edge of the foot. So I'm going to take my right leg, so it may stay where it is and you roll onto the outer edge. You may lift it up and rest it onto something, or you might be able to bring the ankle up onto the opposite leg. And if you're doing that, we want the foot kind of hanging off to the side. So the foot's quite loose, hanging off to the side. And then we're just literally going to bounce really gently. We're just going to bounce the knee up and down, and we can support the leg as we do that and see how it feels. I'm going to turn to the side again, and then we're going to see how it might be to lean a little bit forward. Now this is going to increase the sensation around the hip, so just be really gentle with this, whether your foot is on the floor and it's falling out to the side. You don't want to press onto that leg. You can use the support of the hands on the other leg that isn't rolling out to the side as you lean forward from the hips. So that would be the same if I was upright, just leaning forward from the hips. No pressure on this leg, and just meeting that sensation of stretch through the back of the thigh, or the outer thigh, into the hip, into the buttock. So I really feel this one in the buttock. Taking a breath or two, remembering wherever you are, maybe it's just here. Maybe it's there, maybe the leg is here, just breathing into this space. Easy breaths. One more breath here. And then let's lift the body up, use the hands on the leg to bring the leg down. Use our hand and just use the heel of the hand to rub and bring a little bit of relief into that space. Well done. And then let's do the other side. So now it's the turn of the left leg. So we could just roll onto the outer edge of the left foot. I could lift that outer edge up a little bit higher to be supported by something, or I could bring that left ankle toward my right thigh and the foot is loose. I'm going to bring my hands onto the leg that's not rolling out to the side. A little bit of support, and I'm going to lean forward from the hip. If you prefer, you could hold the leg itself. Take a couple of breaths. And just meet the sensation that's arising in the left buttock now. A couple of breaths. Soften the jaw, particularly noticing how the jaw can get tense when we work the hip area. And then slowly lifting the body up, using the hands to replace the leg. And then again, using the hand to rub the area of the body. Well done. And then we might just put one leg forward. If I sit to the side again, maybe here, put one leg forward and just waggle the leg. Or you might like to lift the leg up and give it a shake. So either the heel is on the floor and you're just waggling the toes, or if it's available, you can lift the leg up and give the leg a little shake. Swapping sides, heel on the floor, waggling the leg, or lifting it up and giving it a bit of a shake. Okay. And then we're going to come and rest now for the final part of the practice. So this can be done in your chair. Pinch my friend's pillows. So you might like to have a pillow over the lap. I'm going to lean right back in my chair. Again, if I sit to the side, it might be easier to see. And so if I'm in my chair, I could move my pelvis forward, tuck my tailbone, let my shoulders round and drop and rest my head down. Or if I prefer, I had two pillows, one for my elbows and wrists, and then one if I was near the wall to rest my head back a little bit. I don't want my chin to be up towards the sky. I want my chin to be dropping down a little bit. If you are, however, close to the bed or the floor, and you want to come and lie on the ground or on the sofa or on the bed with a pillow under the head and maybe under the knees, feel free to take that option. I'm going to come and get a bit closer to the floor so I can see you all a little clearer. Okay. Add in calves. And so for the last kind of 13 minutes or so, we're really just going to rest together and make sure that you have your conditions for rest. One, that you've given yourself permission, so maybe you've switched off your phone if you haven't already. Maybe you're comfortable with a slightly dimmer lighting or some gentle covering over the eyes, maybe. You don't have to if that's not comfortable for you. Maybe you're nestled in now onto the chair or into your bed, the floor or the sofa. And maybe you're warm enough now. The body really will only relax the muscles if it is a comfortable temperature. And have you given yourself permission? So in this opening moment of just coming into this practice, can you show yourself a little kindness by giving yourself permission to have this time? So maybe you would just simply say to yourself, I give myself this time to not do anything. And that's okay. Maybe using words that resonate with you. Just give yourself permission to take these minutes of rest. These minutes that will celebrate the undoing or the non-doing. There's nothing to achieve or strive for in this practice, nothing to improve and nothing to fix. There is just simply being here, however you are, and resting. So with that gentle attention that has been focused on sound and movement and instruction, that gentle attention now can simply drift along with my voice, or you can place it wherever you want it to go. But if you would like now, you could really let that attention settle through all the sounds in your space. Feel that attention with each identifiable sound moving closer towards you as you identify sounds closer towards you. Maybe ending up with identifying the soft, maybe almost imperceptible sound of your breath inside your body. Whether you hear it as it moves through the nose or through the mouth. Imagining now that the breath is like a thread and that you can almost follow that little thread on a journey towards a deeper feeling of ease in the body. As if each breath out and the sound of it moved you closer towards this deep feeling of ease in the body. Just let your attention slide down the length of the next couple of breaths out. And then let the breath out open your attention into the physical feeling of your body being supported by the ground. So that as you breathe out, your attention slides down into the body and into all those places of contact between your body, the supports, and the ground. Feeling the body held and welcomed by the ground beneath. As you let your attention just land your body into this place, supported and welcomed by the ground beneath. And then you could let that soft attention settle into the center of you, wherever you believe that to be. And maybe you can imagine or remember a time when you felt at ease in your body. Can you imagine or remember a time when you felt at ease in your body? Maybe it has a color, a shape, or a place, this feeling of being at ease. Maybe you can remember the felt sensation in the body, how easy the body felt, how easy the breath was, or how easy movement was. Remember or imagine a feeling of being at ease in the body. And then imagine this feeling of ease now really coming alive into all the spaces of the head, as if you could, just with your imagination and your attention, move this feeling of ease into the head. Into the eyes and the nose and around the mouth and the ears. through the front, through the face, through the back of the head, over all of the scalp and all the places in between. This feeling of ease moving down effortlessly through the neck, through the front of the neck, the back of the neck, the sides of the neck, spreading across the top of the shoulders, this feeling of ease, wrapping around into the shoulder blades and the space in between, and then moving down through the arms, through the whole of the arms, into the wrists, into the whole of the hand, this feeling of ease. This feeling of ease sliding all the way down through the spine and through the whole of the back. This feeling of ease slipping down through the chest, belly, pelvis, inside the right hip, all the way down through the right leg, into the right ankle and the foot, all the way down through the left leg, into the ankle and into the foot, the whole body. It's imagined or felt experience of ease. Whole body. The whole body. And then imagine now that you could carry this feeling with your breath from the left side of your body to the right side of your body. As if you could breathe in to bring it alive all the way in the left side of the body from the head to the foot. And as you breathe out, you drop that feeling of ease into the right side of the body. Then you might breathe in through the right side of the body, that feeling of ease. And as you breathe out, drop it into the left side of the body. Breathing in to the left. And breathing out, dropping it into the right. Just moving your attention and that feeling of ease from left to right as you breathe. And right to left. Maybe you see that feeling as a color, or maybe you feel it in the body as you imagine lifting it and dropping it into the left and into the right side. And then when you're ready, can you imagine breathing through left and right side simultaneously, the whole body? And then dropping that sensation back through the whole body, left and right together. Breathing in, feeling of ease through the whole body. Breathing out, feelings of ease through the whole body. Once or twice more. And then if you would like, you could experience how it might be to let go of any effort of your attention now. Any effort of imagining, any effort of feeling, any effort of doing at all, just for a few moments. Is it possible just to let go of your attention? And just to be present. Everything all at the same time. Yet feeling the nothingness, spacious, pure awareness. Noticing how you feel. Noticing resistance to your practice or relief in the practice. Noticing any irritation or joy, whatever might be arising for you in this moment as you're just in your body, with your experience of being you here and now. And no, there is no right way to do this practice, no right way to feel. And if you can extend yourself a little smile, internally or on the face, in recognition of all your efforts today. You could let that happen now. Just offer yourself a little kind smile. And then we bring this practice to a close, just quietly coming back into the room, feeling into the ground, opening and closing the eyes. Looking about the space, wide eyes, yawn or stretch or wriggle, however you might like to close the practice. Thank you so much for joining. Go well.